escape to highlights of Andalucia. There we go. Let me introduce me. My name is Alejandro, Alex, and it's really a pleasure to be with you tonight to reintroduce you in this one of the most beautiful parts of Spain, well, for me, called Andalucia. And let me introduce you how your trip's going to be next time you're coming to see us to this part. So first of all, I would like to introduce me. My name is Alejandro, Alex, and I started to be a tour guide nearly 20 years ago, and almost 4 years with travel department. And believe me, that has been the last 4 years been very, very interesting for me, and travel department, a very important experience also. Not only because they're giving us the opportunity to show you this part of Spain, but also anything we'll need during the tour. They're giving us the answer and the solution of everything. So this is very, very important for us, the tour guides, to always be in contact with the travel department. Well, so coming down to the southern part of Spain, this part of Andalusia, which is the second largest region of Spain. Well, what we're going to do during this
error, we're realizing we need to understand.
Can you hear me?
No, I can't hear you.
Is that you, Gillian?
Hello?
You can't hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Alex.
Okay. Well, so what we're going to do is just, I'm going to give you an introduction of this tour of Andalusia. First of all, once you take your flight from anywhere in Ireland or whatever, you'll be landed here in Malaga International Airport of Pablo Picasso. This is the name of our airport here. So I will wait for you. And once we get to the airport of Malaga, we'll start our bus. Okay, there we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. Welcome to Malaga. I'm sure that many of you have been here to Malaga before, and know maybe some towns in the Costa del Sol like Marbella or Torremolinos or Benalmádena. But you know that we are not going to stay in the Costa del Sol. We go straight to the countryside. So once we get to the bus, what I'm going to do, first of all, is going to introduce you with another very important person that will be along of the week, will be the bus driver, okay? And then I will give you the program of the week and all of that. So once you land to Malaga, we're picking up the bus and we go straight up to the village that you got in front of you on your screen, which is called Loja, L-O-J-A. Always complicate to pronounce Loja, the Jota. Is a typical whitewash village that we got in Andalucia. Is only 45 minutes or nearly an hour between the airport of Malaga to Loja. This village of Loja is located between the province of Granada, that you can see on your screen on your right, and the town of Malaga. So once we get on the bus, I will give you all these programs and all of that, and we're gonna have I will give you some informations about the town of Loja. Once we get there, we'll be at the hotel. We're going to try also that they're giving you the rooms as soon as possible at your arrival. And the hotel will be allocated at the Hotel El Mirador. El Mirador means like you can enjoy all the views from the hotel to whole Loja. I'm going to show you there on a minute. Loja is, as I told you, is a whitewashed village, and you have so many things to do inside also. Well, you can walk and you can visit so many things. And once we get to the hotel of El Mirador, these are the views of the hotel. Talking about the hotel also, and let me talk about Loja just a bit later. You can see the views of the hotel. On your left, you have a video. This is a brand new hotel. They built this hotel about a year and a half ago. And you can see on your right, these pictures on your right, there's a brand new hotel rooms that can be all the balconies that you got. You have many terraces at this hotel that you can enjoy the views of Loja. You can see that his hotel is on the top of Loja, so you can walk into the village. You have to go down, then you will find the old town, and then, well, of course, you have to go back to the hotel. But well, you have so many things to do in Loja. So let's continue with the Hotel Mirador. These are the rooms, part of the rooms. Okay, so all the rooms going to be different, we can say, but do not forget that is a brand new hotel. You can appreciate the rooms. It's very quiet, a very quiet hotel. So you have a safety box, which is going to be free. The TV, different channels that you can have, Wi-Fi for free, different views that you can enjoy, right? On your left. Then we continue, you have views of different places of the hotel, okay, that you can enjoy. You can have a coffee or tea or whatever in the night time. For example, after dinner, you can have something to drink. You have different bars and all of that. So for sure, the hotel is a great place. It's in the old whitewashed village. We are not in the Costa del Sol, which is very, very busy. Not in this case. And you have so many things to do. So once we get on the bus, I giving you all the informations. I giving you the details of the hotel, about breakfast, about dinner, about everything. Then what to do, what to see in Loja. So I will giving you all the informations about the town of Loja. Once we are in Loja, we have dinner in the night all together at the hotel. It's going to be a buffet. And the following day, we'll start the tour of Andalucia. The first day where we're going is going to be Antequera. Antequera is another very, very interesting village close to Loja, which is only, you can see on the map, which is only, is it here, nearly 40 minutes, we can say only 45 minutes. And we are coming back to the province of Malaga. we'll start, we're not going to start very early in the morning because it's only 45 minutes. And usually the first day, the arrivals, it depends, but some of the people will arrive in the morning, some others will arrive in the afternoon or things like that. So we'll leave not very, very early in the morning. So I'm saying not very, very early in the morning, not 7 o'clock in the morning, but about maybe 10, something like that. But I will give you all the timetables the day you'll be here, right? So once we get to Antequera, we're going to visit something very, very, very interesting that will, we cannot compare, but we could make a link between the dolmens of Antequera and the dolmens that you got in Ireland, for example. This is very, very interesting. In Newgrange, for example, very, very interesting. So we're going to visit first the dolmen of Antequera. We have got the first one called Menga. This is one of the 3 dolmen that we got in Antequera. We're going to spend there approximately an hour and a half, not in these dolmen especially, but between the 3 dolmens that we're going to visit. We're going to talk about megalithic period. We're going to talk about something that happened between 5,000 and 2,000 BC. We're going to talk about a civilization that we have so many questions, but not many answers to say. We're going to show you also a video about how maybe they build these dolmens. Well, I'm saying maybe because, well, we are talking about something that's got more than 5,000 years ago, all right? So, but it's going to be something very interesting. And believe me, landscape is absolutely fantastic. So this is the first part of this trip. Once we finish the tour of these dolmens, of the 3 dolmens, we're going up to the bus and we'll have like a panoramic tour of this village of Antequera. Now, maybe some of you been to Antequera before. I don't know, maybe. And we have like a panoramic tour and of course, a walking tour into this lovely village. There are approximately more than 30 churches in this village. There are more churches than inhabitants in Antequera, but we're not going to make all the churches, but just show you the most important for this. For example, this one, the Royal Collegiate of Santa Maria, is going to be one of the most important because it is the first church built in Antequera. So we'll continue all the walking tour all along these beautiful walking streets and all of that. And once we finish these walking tour, we'll finish the walking tour at the Historic Center of Antequera. And I will give you free time for lunch or for coffee, for shopping or whatever. And we'll come back around 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the afternoon at the hotel in Loja. Do not forget, it's not a long way. It's only 45 minutes by bus. And believe me, it's a very, very interesting town to visit. And is in the heart of the province of Malaga. Well, then come back to the hotel. Time to enjoy your free time at the hotel before dinner and all of that. The next day, we'll travel to Cordoba. Cordoba is going to be one of the most beautiful city of Andalucia. Cordoba is only an hour and 45 minutes from Loja. It's all motorway, okay? It's all motorway to go up to Cordoba. And on the way up to Cordoba, landscape sceneries will be absolutely fantastic. Thousands and thousands of olive trees on the way up to Cordoba. It's going to be absolutely fantastic on the way up to Cordoba. So we'll talk, of course, about on the way up to Cordoba in the bus. We'll talk about many things, an introduction about Andalusia, about the different activities that we got in Andalusia. We'll talk about agriculture. We'll talk about so many things during the week in the bus. So you're not going to have time to sleep in the bus, right? So this is very important. We have time to sleep in the night, not during the bus. Well, so we'll talk about all of that. And once we get to Cordoba, which is part of World Heritage, in the picture that you got in front of you, we have got a river. We are proud in Andalusia, even if we haven't got a lot of rain, but we have a river called the Guadalquivir River. And we are proud to have this river because we'll enjoy this river in Cordoba, but also in Seville, right? But here we are now in Cordoba. In front of you in this picture, you have got a Roman bridge built in the first age, which is that has been rebuilt years ago. And once we get off the bus, we're gonna cross the bridge. We're gonna walk all along the bridge and enjoy the magnificent views of the cathedral that you got in front of you. This cathedral, which is a cathedral today, but before used to be the largest mosque in this part of Europe between the 8th and the early 13th century. These are the views of this mosque, okay? You have the mosque down here, and then part of the church, which is right in the middle. Once we get to the church, once we get to the cathedral, we'll provide you with headsets or whispers, that what we call today, which is going to be much better to follow us during the tours. Okay, so do not forget that all the trips that we're gonna have, Cordoba, Seville, and Granada will be provided by headsets and whispers. Okay, so this is very important because inside there will be a few groups also, so it's much better. So once we're going to walk next to this cathedral, this is going to be the main entrance to the cathedral. On the top left, you can appreciate the minarets. There used to be the minarets of Cordoba, but today you'll find the bells, of course, and that you can appreciate here. Mezquita on your right mean mosque, but do not forget it is a cathedral inside. The mix, we can say, between the Arabic architecture and Catholic architecture will be absolutely fantastic inside. There you go. This is what you're going to enjoy inside. Amazing, just amazing. There's no words to explain this picture that we got in front of you. Of course, we'll explain about the different periods that they build this cathedral in this mosque. first, sorry, in Cordoba. And well, just enjoy. You can take photos inside, for example, with no flash, and definitely enjoy all these places. If I show you this place also, which is going to be very important, the first part of the mosque, you will have the mihrab, for example. Believe me, there's going to be a mix with, in Cordoba, 3 different churches, because we are talking about Muslims, we are talking about Catholics, but we'll talk about the Jews also. Do not forget that in Cordoba, we got one of the largest Jewish community in Europe in the first part of Middle Age. Okay, very, very important. Do not forget that. So the mix will be, the cocktail, we can say, will be absolutely fantastic. So the tour will take approximately 40, well, nearly an hour. We can say an hour into the cathedral. And once we go out the cathedral, we'll continue a walking tour into the old Jewish quarter that we call in Spanish La Judería. Just to show you the different courtyards that we got in Cordoba. All these flowers that you got, for example, in front of you in this picture, we'll show you these flowers because in the month of May, we have got a very important championship of courtyards, and to show all these flowers that we can enjoy. So this is very important. We can enjoy all these patios in the months of April and May, but also September, October, November. We have got flowers nearly whole year, right? So a walking tour into the old Jewish quarter, tiny little streets, very, very narrow streets and all of that. And I'm sure you're going to enjoy this town of Cordoba, which is absolutely fantastic. Then we'll finish the tour. Once we finish the tour of Cordoba, we're giving you, of course, free time for lunch, for shopping. I will giving you some information about where to do, what to do, where to go, and all of that, right? So we'll be back at the hotel again for in the afternoon, about 6 o'clock. I'm giving you times like this, okay? Just giving you times, come back and time to relax and dinner and spend the night at the hotel in Loja. The following day, we're going to, well, it's an optional excursions, okay? So for those that would like to go to this excursion or not, we're going to Ronda. I'm sure you heard about this absolutely little town of Ronda. For those that would like to stay at the hotel, you can stay at the hotel, no problem. Something very important I would like to let you know, that the first day, the first 10 minutes that will be all together, the first and the most important thing that I will give in you is going to be my mobile phone, my telephone number. Okay, this is going to be very important that you can call me, even if we go, for example, for optional excursion, and you're going to stay at the hotel. You have got my telephone, and you can call me when, and wherever you like. Okay. Well, so let's talk about Ronda optional excursion. Ronda is going to be approximately 2 hours and 15 minutes, because here is like 2 hours and it's a bit long. It's going to be like about 2 hours and 15 minutes ish, right? Ronda is into the province of Malaga, and from Loja to Ronda, again, landscape, sceneries, they're going to be magic. absolutely fantastic. Olive trees, oak trees, lands of cereals and things like that. Well, fantastic. Why Ronda is so famous? Because Ronda is another whitewash village that we got very close to Marbella, also the city of Marbella. And Ronda always been very important in the world of bullfight, right? Okay, this is something that is part of this country. And we are gonna build the first bull ring in Spain in Ronda. And so many history there. We got, especially between the early 18th century and of early early 20th century, always been very important because so many people came here, so many poets came here, so many people that came here and wrote a novel and things like that. And especially in the 20th, middle of 20th century also, we got so many celebrities coming up to Ronda, and especially the views and all of that. But once we get to Ronda, something very, very interesting also, because the last, we can say 20, 25 years, Ronda starts to elaborate wine. So the first part of the tour of Ronda is going to be a wine testing, bodega, that we call in Spanish, a bodega. This is the picture that you got in front of you. This bodega that we're going to visit, well, there you will test different wines of this bodega, of Ronda. Then also during your testing, you will get some tapas, right? Wine and tapas early in the morning. Ooh, that will be great. Ooh, wine of Ronda, the red wine, where the red wine and the white wine, rosé, and all of that. So it will be a great opportunity also to test this kind of wine that we got into the province of Malaga, because you all know here in Malaga, we have got another type of wine, the sweet wine, the Moscatel wine. But this is going to be absolutely different. So into the bodega, we'll stay approximately an hour and 15, an hour and a half. We're not going to spend whole day, of course not, right? And drinking wine all day, no. So then we'll continue to Ronda, all right? This is Ronda. Just the views, all the history of Ronda. For example, on the top of, on the rock on your right, you have got, for example, these famous resorts that we got in Spain called the Paradores, for example, and all the views that we're going to be in the middle of the mountain. Ronda is approximately 800 meters above sea level, okay? And another very important thing that Ronda, the inhabitants of Ronda are proud is the bridge, the Tajo Gorge that you can see here, El Tajo. So this bridge, built in the middle of the 18th century, it's between the old village and the modern town of Ronda, okay, the brand new town of Ronda. At the opposite side of the bridge, for example, there you got the village. At the opposite side, on the back, there you will have these bull ring that you can visit by yourself, because the tour of Ronda does no guiding tour, okay? So once we finish the wine tasting. You'll all follow me. We'll go all together at the center of Ronda. I will give you some maps, and it's going to be time for you to discover Ronda by yourself. I will tell you where to go, what to do, the meeting points. Of course, meeting points will be very, very important. I don't know, gentlemen, if I have to say where is going to be the main strip with all the shops. I don't know. Let's see. And but anyway, you have so many things to do in Ronda. Tapas, for your lunch, for your shopping, for everything. Believe me, is an absolutely fantastic optional excursion. Do I recommend? Because I'm sure many friends of you been to Ronda before. So these continue the views of this absolutely fantastic bridge, El Tajo. Well, we finished with Ronda. Go back to the hotel. Time for dinner and have a good time. The following day, let's going to visit one of the most important city of Andalucia, the city of Granada, as we say. Well known by the music, but not only by the music, because of the monument that you got in front of you on your left, the Alhambra Palace. We could say maybe the Red Fortress. This is going to be one of the highlights of this trip, Granada. It's going to be only not even an hour from our hotel of Loja. We can say maybe 45 minutes. It's not far. Even here is 2 hours and something, forget it. 45 minutes, an hour from our hotel. So we do not have to wake up early in the morning. Well, it depends what time we got the main tickets of the Alhambra Palace. You all gonna have tickets to the Alhambra Palace. And this is going to be the first part of the trip. We're going to visit the Alhambra Palace first. The trip will take approximately 2.5 hours inside of the Alhambra Palace. We're going to visit the different parts of this monument. For example, this part that you got in front of you here on your left is going to be the Nazarene palaces. There in front of you, you're going to have one of the first palace that you're going to visit inside. There are many palaces inside of the Alhambra. This is going to be very interesting. This is going to be maybe the first part of the trip, the Charles V Palace, which is very, very special because it's going to be square outside and round inside. And it looked like the Medici Palace, the Medicis. Very interesting. So of course, we'll talk about one of the most important king that we got in Spain, Charles V. So this is going to be the first palace that we're going to enjoy. And then, wow, let's go in. Let's now be in a palace. The Lion Courtyard. This is one of the most beautiful and the most popular courtyard that we got into these Nazarene palaces. We'll talk about so many things, how the emirs were living in this courtyard, in this palace? How was the life in this palace? How many people were living in this palace? So many things. I'm not going to tell you anything. You're just coming. That's it, right? All the different courtyards. For example, this one that you got in front of you, Generalife Gardens. Generalife. It is not the Generalife insurance, okay? Generalife, that means the summer palace, Generalife in Arabic. So we'll visit also the Generalife, okay? So we'll have during the tour, Charles V Palace, Nazare Palaces, Generalife Gardens, and all of that, okay? It's going to be a full tour, okay? So just giving you an idea about the flowers, plants, trees that we got at the Alhambra Palace. And something which is very interesting about plants and trees, because sometimes some of you asking me, but Alex, we are in the month of November, and which kind of plants of trees that we got blooming or whatever? I say, well, it doesn't matter. Every single season, they change the flowers. So all the time we have got flowers and plants in the Alhambra Palace, just giving you an idea about what you're going to enjoy. Smell, colors, what else? So many things. Look at that. Roses everywhere. Fountains. You can hear, you can smell, you can use so many things into the Alhambra Palace. So once we're going to finish the tour after 2.5 hours and well, just enjoy how this monument was magic, we can say, in all the history. We'll get on the bus and we're going downtown. Downtown, of course, I will giving you free time for lunch, for shopping, or whatever you want. But also, if you want to visit other monuments, could be very interesting also. In front of you, you have got the Cathedral of Granada. It's a massive cathedral that you can visit. But also, you have got the opportunity to visit by yourself another very, very interesting thing, which is the Royal Chapel of Granada, where during the King Fernando and the Queen Isabel, the Catholic, La Católica. And believe me, inside is a very, very small royal chapel. Do I recommend, definitely recommend to visit by yourself. Will take like about 30 minutes only. And there's so many things to enjoy. Flemish paintings from the end of the 15th centuries, some items that belong to the Queen Isabel. Well, so many things, right? So plenty of things to do in the afternoon. Do not forget that Granada is really, really close from the hotel. It's only 45 an hour by bus. So definitely it's going to be a day that we can enjoy, definitely. Okay, Granada, believe me. Well, I don't know what to say. I say Granada, Ronda, Cordoba, all highlights. Absolutely fantastic. So back to the hotel. Just relax. Oh, day at leisure. Well, day at leisure. So I will giving you during the days before your day at leisure, what to do, where to go in Loja, for example, in the picture that you got in front of you. You have got a lovely church. There used to be a mosque before, and you have got an Alcazar. Alcazar is a military fortress also that you can visit in Loja. And inside is going to be a museum. We'll tell you also where to go for shopping, just few shops in Loja, for tapas bar. If you want to walk into the land and all of that, well, I will give you all the information that you will need during your day at leisure. Okay, so what to do and all of that. Well, you can see here, for example, the tapas that you can have in Loja. About Loja, you will be surprised also about the prices of the price of the food in Loja. Do not forget that we are not staying in the Costa del Sol, where the price is also a bit higher. Here you're going to be really, really surprised, okay, about the food and the prices that you're going to pay for the food and drinks and all of that. Something important, I'm just going back again to this picture, something important also that you can see, these are the views that we got from the hotel. Okay, so we have to walk down and all of that, but anyway, if you want to take a taxi, if you want to take a bus, there are local buses, there are taxis, there are so many things. So don't worry about that. Taxis are very cheap. Buses, there's a bus stop right next to the hotel. So definitely just enjoy Loja and that's it. Well, all these tapas, back to these tapas, but then the next day, after your day at leisure, we'll have one of my, again, another one, my favorite city, Seville. Seville is approximately, well, that could be the longest day in the bus, okay? That will take approximately 2 hours and, well, here is like nearly 3 hours. No, not really. It's going to be nearly 2 hours and 30 minutes-ish, right? We go to the western side of Andalucia. In Seville, so on the way to Seville, we'll have like a comfort stop about 15-20 minutes for a coffee, and you know what I mean. And then while we have a stop after an hour by bus, because once we get to Seville, we'll start our panoramic tour. I'm going to try to show you as much as possible the most important spots of Andalusia, and definitely we'll have a stop in these. The first stop will be in these absolutely fantastic plaza that we call square that you got in front of you in your picture, the Spanish square. This is just a square. It is not a monument, a square in the middle of a magnificent park called Maria Luisa. This building built early 20th century only. We're gonna stop there because it's a huge square. The light of this square. We're going to spend there, I don't know, maybe 20-30 minutes, let's say, just the time to giving you information about the square and enjoy by yourself take photos and all of that, because this square is absolutely fantastic. All the tiles that you got here, for example, these are the typical civilian tiles that you got there, with all the different provinces of Spain represent here. And each province still, you will have like an event that happened in this province. Okay, this is very important. If we continue there, look at that. We're still here into the Spanish Square, all the tiles, different bridges, the different towers. So today, this building, you will have some, you have like a very, very small theater. Inside, you have got civil servants working into the square and all of that. We use this square also to shoot some movies, you know, that we shoot, for example, years ago, Lawrence of Arabia, or one of the Star Wars episode, and then, well, so many things. We use this square for concert also, and all of that. Believe me, you're going to enjoy this square. So once we finish to make a tour of this square, we go straight, which is included in the tour, another very, very important monument. Granada, the Alhambra Palace was absolutely gorgeous. But this one, wow. The Alcazar. Alcazar means royal palace. And it's still royal palace today, because when Our Majesty Philip VI coming with Queen Letizia, they're staying here, okay? They stay in this Alcazar. So this Alcazar in Seville is a royal palace where you're going to enjoy also so many courtyards. But this is something that's going to surprise more than one, because it's a mix again between an Arabic architecture built by Christians and some architecture built definitely by Christians and all of that. So, oh, so what's that? So, and so many centuries and all of that, all the courtyards, they got so many centuries and all of that. And also this Alcazar, we're going to talk about something very, very important. It's going to be about a person very important in Spain in at the end of the 15th century, would be Christopher Columbus also, right? Because Seville used to be the most important port of Spain when Columbus discovered the New World, right? So all of that, we're going to talk about so many things into the Alcazar. The tour will take again nearly an hour and a half if we want to enjoy definitely this palace. Just imagine what you're going to visit. All this architecture, roofs, just amazing. Well preserved and all of that. All the rooms will be very, very important. And then, of course, we have got our garden again. Absolutely fantastic. Well, you have got on your picture the famous oranges, bitter oranges, Sevillian oranges. So if you're coming here in the month of March, end of March, early April, we have got the flower. Smells so good, right? These are the famous range from Seville. And we have got all these gardens around here, right? Look at that. It's just amazing, right? It's going to be like this nearly whole year. Of course, the palm trees, they are always going to be here, all the orange trees, many flowers during the year that we got in this Alcazar. These parts, we show this picture because now it's getting very interesting because so many people coming now to the Alcazar Garden because the famous series that we got, they shoot these famous games of thrones in these parts of Alcazar. So now many people coming to the Alcazar just to see this part of the Alcazar. And well, Alcazar is getting so important today. So it's going to be a lovely tour of this royal palace. Once we finish the royal palace, we'll make a short tour of the old Jewish quarter of Sevilla. Do not forget again, like Cordoba or Granada, we got a Jewish quarter. So we'll show you into the old Jewish quarter, all these narrow streets where you've got many tapas bar for lunch, shops, and all of that. And we'll finish the tour next to this absolutely amazing cathedral. And you have got the old minaret that we call Giralda, right? So during your free time also, after a few tapas or before tapas, why not visiting by yourself these cathedral of Granada of Seville that we consider the third largest cathedral in the world, right? Imagine Gothic cathedral mix Renaissance cathedral and all of that. So just amazing. So many things to visit inside, so many paintings also inside about our famous Spanish painters that we got during the different centuries. The meeting point, of course, is going to be next to the cathedral, so it's impossible to get lost in this town of Seville. So once we finish the historic center of Seville, the free time and all of that, we'll get on the bus and we'll continue our panoramic tour on the way back to Loja. For example, this is going to be another very important monument that we'll go next to, which is the Gold Tower. There used to be the main entrance of the port of Seville in early Middle Age and maybe before, so because it's an Arabic tower. Then we have got another monument like this, that this is where we have got our local government of Andalucia that we call the Telmo Palace, built early 18th century. And I will show you a few other things on the way out to Loja. I will show you, for example, a bridge built by a famous Spanish architect that I'm sure you all know, Santiago Calatrava, that built the Samuel Beckett Bridge in Dublin, or the James Joyce Bridge, or things like that, right? So, well, and all along of the Guadalquivir River. And definitely all these tapas again, back to the hotel. And well, for dinner last night, well, let's see. The following day. Oh, the following day. Last day of this trip. I don't want to talk about a lot this last day. Of course, the day before, we'll organize all departures and all of that. So I will giving you all the informations, everything about your last day, and definitely, well, it's gonna be time to come back. That's it. Bueno.
Brilliant. Thanks so much. We just have a few questions here in the chat box, so I'll get to them now. So there's a message from Susan just asking if it's suitable for solo travelers.
Is it suitable for, let me check you got it